This morning, we're watching some new legal maneuvers from former President Trump's legal team. They are appealing a federal judge's order for some former top aides, including White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, to testify before the federal grand jury investigating the January 6th attack. NBC's Vaughn Hilliard has been following this story for us. So, Vaughn, a new move here, but an old move in terms of the Trump legal playbook. What do we know about this appeal and the latest on former vice president testifying? He is going to be in Washington tonight.
Right. We'll see how long this ultimately plays out. We now have an appeal from Donald Trump to keep the testimony of Mark Meadows and these 7 other key aides from testifying. And these are individuals who have a treasure trove of information. If we're talking about Mark Meadows specifically, he was with Donald Trump on January 6th and, of course, in the weeks leading up to it. It was Cassidy Hutchinson, who was, of course, the aide to Mark Meadows, who testified to the January 6th Select Committee, and we would expect that she has provided similar testimony to the special counsel's office, that it was Mark Meadows that just days before the January 6th attack, in which Cassidy Hutchinson said, quote, things might get real bad on January 6th. And the testimony that Hutchinson provided as to information that Meadows is aware of is going to be key to the special counsel. Exactly when the appeals court would be able to rule on this, it is not clear at this time. But as for Mike Pence, of course, this is another individual who had direct conversations with, of course, Donald Trump, even just hours before he arrived to the U.S. Capitol on January 6th to conduct his business as the Senate president. Take a listen to Mike Pence just yesterday in Iowa talking about his own appeal from having to go before the special counsel's grand jury. Take a listen.
Well, as I said, I'll be in Washington, D.C. later this week, and I'll be meeting with my counsel at that time, and we'll review the judge's decision, and we'll determine the best way forward. But again, I have nothing to hide. I believe we did our duty under the Constitution on January 6th.
Garrett, Mike Pence said that he would be meeting with his counsel in Washington, D.C. over the next day or two to determine the extent to which they should seek an appeal. If the appeals court were to not rule in any of these individuals' favor, of course, this is the sort of testimony that the special counsel's office would be looking for as they close in on whether to press charges potentially against Donald Trump, but also others, including even the likes of Mark Meadows, who were engaged in conversations ahead of January 6th. Garrett?